Number one, chip shortages will continue to be an issue, and already the automotive industry has begun altering their production plans for 2023. They say right now, as an industry, they can expect to lose between 2 and 3 million units of planned production next year. That's on top of the 10.5 million lost in 2021 and the nearly 4 million that has been lost so far this year. So this is going to continue to be an issue because factories are not making enough to keep up with the potential demand, so everyone's having to scale back. To deal with this problem, President Biden signed a $280 billion CHIPS and Science Act in August. $52 billion was set aside as subsidies to encourage chip manufacturers to build fabrication plants here in the U.S. While there's plenty of interest, it does take time to build these plants and get them up and running, and there's no reason to believe the U.S. will be flush with microchips in 2023. They will come, but not necessarily next year. Most of these plants and chip manufacturing places are outside the U.S., and that's why it's a big issue for us to get them. The next reason why you want to avoid buying a new car in 2023, demand will continue to grow. There's always going to be someone out there who wants to buy and can buy a new vehicle, and prices are super hot right now. They're very expensive, and haggling really isn't an issue for us as consumers, and the dealerships know this. According to CNBC, September, just a few months ago, marked the 16th month that buyers paid over MSRP. The average price paid, believe this, for a new vehicle, $48,000, which is 6.1% higher than it was in 2021. It's difficult enough to pay full price for a new vehicle, but you really want to compete with people who are willing to pay that much more for one. And like all economic trends, this will pass. It's going to take time. It may be tough to wait, but do your best. Last but not least, interest rates are on the rise. In an effort to cool inflation, the Federal Reserve has steadily increased the rates. Unless you're paying for cash, your budget will be impacted by these higher rates. For example, let's say you purchased a vehicle shortly before the pandemic. You borrowed $40,000 at 4% for 60 months. Your monthly payment would have been $737. That's, I know it's high, and you would have paid a total of $4,200 in interest. If you borrowed the same amount at 7%, it would cost you $792 a month. That's almost $800, or more than $7,500 in interest only. That's $3,300 more than when you would have paid just a couple of years ago. So giving the Federal Reserve time to do their thing might just save you some money. If you are one of those people hell-bent on buying a new car, truck, or SUV, fine. You have the funds to do so. You're in the market. You want one pretty bad. Check out quotes.everymandriver.com. Type in the make, model, and your zip code. And the zip code's key because it's going to show you which qualified dealers in your area have the best deals on the vehicle you're looking for. If you can't find what you're looking for in your zip code, just expand your zip code and be willing to travel a little bit to get that good deal. Quotes.everymandriver.com. Leave your comments below on some of the reasons why you are avoiding buying a new car in 23, or which car you plan on buying in 2023. I've never known a brand to ask its customers to lease versus buy, which makes me a little bit suspicious, especially reading the headline that Toyota wants its customers to lease instead of buying new cars. Then I read a little more, and now it makes sense. The brand's current leasing rate is half of what it needs to be and what it used to be. Toyota is basically on a mission to find ways to convince U.S. customers to lease their new vehicles instead of buying them, as lease rates are currently about half of what they should be according to Toyota. Now, why is this a problem? Why is this a problem for Toyota? Because customers who lease are automatically forced to come back in 3 or 4 years to lease another vehicle, and those who buy typically keep their Toyotas for far longer than other vehicles. Speaking to Automotive News, Toyota's North American chief acknowledged it will take creativity, he says, to solve this problem as new vehicle inventory and reduced incentives continue, both making leasing a less attractive option. Would you rather lease or would you rather buy? Leave your feedback in the comments section below and we continue. He says here, Toyota's leasing percentage right now is around 14% of total sales, and it would normally be near 30%. So it's 15%, he says, of business, which is now in a retail contract instead of a lease. This is a concern, he says, because a customer on a lease cycle is normally back in 3 years, and it's an automatic opportunity to release them a new car or sell them a new car. Because leasing is a core part of the industry's business model, Toyota can't afford to let this current trend continue. But there's another critical reason leasing is a must. It consistently creates a precious supply of certified pre-owned vehicles, which I really couldn't wrap my head around until I read this. Late model, low mileage examples of the RAV4, Tacoma, and Highlander fly off dealer lots quickly. Leasing terms can also be extended if inventory is tight like it is now, basically allowing dealers to make money when it doesn't have enough new vehicles to sell. So now it makes sense on why Toyota wants more customers to lease instead of buying their new cars. The new cars simply aren't there.
One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.